Recessions happen every few years, it's like clockwork. And yet, most people act completely surprised when the economy takes a dip. They bury their heads in the sand, hoping it'll all just blow over. Remember the last economic crash? Millions of jobs gone, businesses boarded up, and the stock market looking like a roller coaster from hell. People lost their savings, their homes, their livelihoods. It was brutal. But here's the thing. While everyone else was panicking, some people saw it as an opportunity. They knew that recessions are cyclical, that what goes down must come up. And they used that knowledge to come out even wealthier than before. So, the question is, which side will you be on? Will you be caught off guard, scrambling to pick up the pieces, or will you be prepared, ready to capitalize on the chaos? In this video, I'm breaking down 9 steps to not only survive a recession, but to thrive in it. Imagine this, you wake up tomorrow, pour yourself a coffee and check the news. Suddenly your stomach drops. Your company is laying off thousands of employees, including you. Now ask yourself this, how long could you survive without a paycheck? Could you cover your rent or mortgage, your groceries, your bills? If the answer is anything less than 6 months, you're playing with fire. See, most people treat an emergency fund like an optional extra, something to worry about later. But let me tell you, when a recession hits, later becomes too late. This fund isn't just a savings account, it's your financial lifeline. So here's what you do. Calculate your essential monthly expenses. And I mean the bare minimum. Then, multiply that number by 6 to 12. That's your emergency fund goal. Start small if you have to, but make it a non-negotiable. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later. Now I know what you're thinking, Graham, that sounds like a lot of money. And you're right, it is. But here's the thing. Building an emergency fund isn't about deprivation, it's about prioritization. Start by cutting back on unnecessary expenses. That daily latte? Gone. Eating out 3 times a week? Cut it down. You'd be surprised how much you can save just by being a little more mindful of your spending. Next, consider picking up a side hustle. Whether it's driving for Uber, freelancing online, or selling handmade goods on Etsy, there are tons of ways to make extra cash. Remember, every dollar you earn is another brick in your financial fortress. And here's a pro tip. Automate your savings. Set up a recurring transfer from your checking account to your emergency fund every time you get paid. You won't even miss the money, and it'll grow faster than you think. Remember, having a solid emergency fund gives you something priceless, peace of mind. It means that when things get tough, you'll have options. And that, my friends, is true financial freedom. Let's talk about debt, specifically the high-interest kind. You know, those credit cards and personal loans with interest rates that would make even a loan shark blush. Here's the cold, hard truth. If you're drowning in high-interest debt, you're already in a financial recession, regardless of what the economy's doing. That 20%, 25%, even 30% interest rate is like an anchor chained to your leg, dragging you further and further down. And guess what? When a real recession hits, those interest rates will feel even heavier. Job security might waver, expenses could rise, and suddenly, making those minimum payments becomes a Herculean task. So, what's the solution? You need to attack that debt with a vengeance, right now. This is not a wait-and-see situation, this is a take action and take control moment. Okay, so, how do you actually slay the high-interest debt monster? It's simple, but it takes discipline. First, make a list of all your debts, including the outstanding balance and interest rate for each one. Next, prioritize. Continue making minimum payments on all your debts, but focus all your extra cash on the one with the highest interest rate first. This is called the debt snowball method, and it's the fastest way to become debt-free. Now you might be thinking, Graham, I can barely afford my bills, let alone extra debt payments. I hear you. But I'm also here to tell you that you have more control than you think. Look for ways to cut back on expenses, even temporarily. Sell stuff you don't need. Pick up a side hustle. Remember, the sacrifices you make today to get out of debt will be worth it when you're finally financially free, and a recession can't touch you. Let's be honest, relying on a single source of income is like putting all your eggs in one basket and hoping it doesn't fall off a cliff. It's just too risky, especially in today's world. Remember the 2008 recession? Millions of people lost their jobs overnight. It was brutal. But you know who weathered the storm? Those who had multiple streams of income. They had a backup plan, a safety net when things got tough. And no, this isn't some exclusive strategy for the wealthy. We live in the era of the side hustle, people. There are endless opportunities to create extra income streams. You could be driving for Uber or Lyft in your spare time, selling handmade crafts on Etsy, or even starting a YouTube channel like this one. The point is, diversifying your income is crucial. It's about creating financial security and peace of mind. Because when one income stream takes a hit, you've got others to fall back on. And who knows, maybe one of those side hustles turns into your main gig. It happens all the time. Listen, I get it. Starting a side hustle can seem daunting, especially when you're already juggling a million things. But trust me, it's easier than you think. There are literally thousands of side hustle ideas out there, and many of them can be started with little to no investment. We're talking about things like freelance writing, virtual assisting, social media management, online tutoring, the list goes on. People are making six figures on YouTube selling digital products or freelancing online. Why not you? And the best part? You can choose something you're actually passionate about. Imagine turning your love for photography, writing, or graphic design into a profitable side hustle. Not only would you be making extra money, but you'd be doing something you enjoy. So what are you waiting for? Start brainstorming some side hustle ideas today. You never know, that little side project could be your ticket to financial freedom and recession-proofing your future. Here's a hard truth. The job market is changing faster than ever before. Remember Blockbuster, taxi cabs? Things change. Technology is rapidly evolving, and with it comes automation and artificial intelligence. Now before you panic, hear me out. This isn't about robots stealing all the jobs, it's about adapting and staying ahead of the curve. Those who cling to outdated skills and resist change will be left behind. But those who embrace lifelong learning and constantly upgrade their skills, they'll thrive in this new economy. They'll be the ones calling the shots, demanding higher salaries, and securing their financial future. Think about it. What skills are in high demand right now? Coding, digital marketing, data analysis, e-commerce. These are the fields where companies are desperate for talent. The best investment you can ever make is in yourself. And I'm not just talking about buying another avocado toast. I'm talking about investing in your education and skill set. There are so many resources available today to help you upskill and stay ahead of the curve. Online courses, boot camps, workshops, mentorship programs, you name it, it's out there. And the best part? Many of these resources are incredibly affordable, some even free. Websites like Coursera, edX, and Khan Academy offer high-quality courses from top universities for a fraction of the cost of traditional education. So ditch the excuse that you don't have time or money to learn new skills. In today's world, ignorance is a choice. Make the commitment to invest in yourself, and you'll be amazed at the opportunities that open up for you. Remember, the more valuable you are, the more indispensable you become. And that, my friends, is how you recession-proof your future. Alright, let's talk about how to protect and even grow your wealth during a recession. Because while most people panic and sell their investments at a loss, the savvy investors see it as an opportunity. They know that recessions are a natural part of the economic cycle, and they use these downturns to buy assets at a discount. It's like shopping during Black Friday, but for your investment portfolio. Now, I'm not talking about gambling on risky startups or meme stocks. I'm talking about investing in solid, established companies that perform well even during economic downturns. We call these defensive stocks because they act as a buffer against market volatility. Think consumer staples, things people always need, recession or not. Let's break down these defensive sectors. First up, we have consumer staples. These are the companies that produce essential goods like food, beverages, household products, and personal care items. Think about it. Even when times are tough, people still need to eat, drink, and take care of themselves. Companies like Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, and Walmart tend to weather recessions quite well because their products are always in demand. Next, we have healthcare. People get sick, need medication, and require medical attention regardless of the economic climate. Pharmaceutical companies, medical device manufacturers, and healthcare providers often see consistent demand even during recessions. And finally, we have utilities. These are the companies that provide essential services like electricity, gas, and water. People need to keep their lights on and their homes heated, making utilities a relatively stable sector during economic downturns. Investing in these defensive sectors can help protect your portfolio from the worst of a recession and potentially even generate positive returns when other sectors are struggling. You know, Warren Buffett once said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." And let me tell you, that's not just some catchy Wall Street quote, it's the key to building wealth during recessions. See, when the market tanks and everyone's panicking, selling off their stocks for pennies on the dollar, that's your opportunity. That's when you swoop in and buy those undervalued assets. Because here's the thing, the market operates in cycles. What goes down must come up. And when the economy inevitably recovers, those assets you bought at a discount, they'll skyrocket in value. You just have to be patient and think long-term. Remember, recessions are like those flash sales at your favorite store. Everyone else is running around like chickens with their heads cut off, but you walk in, grab the best deals, and walk out with a steal. Now I know what you're thinking, that's easy to say, but when the news is filled with doom and gloom, it's hard not to panic. And you're right, it's not easy. But that's exactly why most people never build real wealth. They get caught up in the hype, make emotional decisions, and end up selling low and buying high. The exact opposite of what you should do. Instead, focus on the fundamentals. Look for strong companies with solid financials that are temporarily undervalued because of the market panic. These are the businesses that will weather the storm and come out even stronger. So, when everyone else is running for the hills, remember what Warren Buffett said, be greedy when others are fearful, because that's how you turn a recession into your own personal wealth-building opportunity. Let's talk about real estate for a second. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't real estate risky during a recession? And the answer is, it depends. See, while it's true that property values can decline during economic downturns, they also tend to rebound and often exceed their previous highs when the economy recovers. It's like clockwork. Remember, people always need a place to live. That's not going to change. So if you can snag a property at a discount during a recession, you're essentially buying a piece of an essential asset class at a bargain price. It's like getting a deal on rent, but for decades to come. But here's the catch. To capitalize on these real estate opportunities, you need to be prepared. And by prepared, I mean having cash on hand or readily available financing. Because when these deals pop up, they tend to move quickly. Now, I understand that not everyone has a pile of cash sitting around, especially during a recession. But if you've been following my advice in building your emergency fund, paying down debt, and investing wisely, you'll be in a much stronger position to act. Another thing to consider is that during recessions, interest rates are often lower. This can make financing a property more affordable, even if you're not buying with all cash. So, if you've been thinking about getting into real estate, a recession might actually be the perfect time to make your move. Just remember, real estate is a long-term game. Don't expect to get rich quick. But if you buy smart, hold for the long haul, and ride out the market cycles, you'll be well positioned to build significant wealth over time. Alright, let's talk about the mental game, because honestly, this is where most people lose it during a recession. They see the headlines, they hear the doom and gloom, and they freeze up, they panic. But here's the thing, panicking doesn't solve anything. It just clouds your judgment and leads to rash decisions you'll probably regret later. Remember the 2008 crash? Everyone thought the world was ending. But guess what? People who kept their cool, who adapted and saw the opportunities, they came out on top. Some even built empires. Think about it. Uber, Airbnb, WhatsApp, All these game-changing companies were born during tough economic times. Why? Because recessions force innovation. They force you to get creative, to hustle harder, and to find new solutions. So instead of freaking out, ask yourself, how can I use this situation to my advantage? Can you learn a new skill that's suddenly in high demand? Can you start that side hustle you've been putting off? Turn that fear into fuel, my friends. Look, I get it. It's easy to get caught in the negativity spiral, especially when everyone around you is losing their minds, but you've got to remember your mindset is everything. It can literally make or break you, especially during a recession. Successful people, they don't see recessions as the end of the world, they see them as opportunities. Opportunities to buy low, to outmaneuver their competition, and to come out stronger on the other side. And that's the mindset you need to adopt. Remember, recessions are cyclical. The economy goes up, the economy goes down. It's been happening for centuries and it's going to keep happening. But those who embrace the cycle, who prepare for the downturns and capitalize on the upswings, they're the ones who build lasting wealth. Let's be real, you can't control when a recession hits. You can't control the stock market, interest rates, or what the Federal Reserve does. Trying to predict these things is like trying to time the market. It's a fool's game. But here's the good news. You can control your own actions. You can control your spending, your savings rate, your investments, and your skills. These are the things you have direct influence over, and they are the keys to not just surviving, but thriving, no matter what the economy throws your way. So instead of stressing about things outside your control, focus your energy on what you can actually change. Start by building that emergency fund we talked about. Attack that high-interest debt like your financial future depends on it. Because guess what? It does. Remember, building wealth isn't about getting lucky. It's about being prepared. It's about making smart decisions consistently, day in and day out, regardless of what's happening in the world around you. So ask yourself, am I doing everything I can to prepare for the future? If the answer is no, then it's time to get to work. Start small if you have to, but start somewhere. Every dollar you save, every skill you learn, every investment you make, it's all a step towards a more secure future. Remember, you are not a passenger on this ride. You are the driver. Take control of your finances, take control of your future, and don't let a recession derail your dreams. Emergency fund, multiple income streams, smart investments, strong mindset. If you follow these steps, you won't just survive the next recession. You'll come out stronger than ever. Now let's hear from you. What's your biggest financial goal right now? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more wealth-building strategies. Because the next recession is coming, but you will be ready.